there's the kings of, I can't think of this name right now. It's Merovonian or something like that. The kings of them, which is a dynasty, that out of them came the Prière de Sion, and they keep having it. Each so many years they have a Grand Master, which the Masons sprung out from there.
Okay.
They had the Masons like over here and there, and then the Prière de Sion still originated. It's based in France.
And you know, back into that Skull and Bones thing, this was an article that appeared in the New York Times on Skull and Bones. Look at what the heading says. The tomb George Bush came from. The tomb George Bush came from. In a Sylvan pocket tucked off High Street, masked by a blank slits in an ancient stone building called the Tomb, barred from the world by a padlock from on door, Skull and Bones keeps his secrets closely, but he casts a shadow across the country. Through generations, the most influential of senior societies at Yale College has been seen by outsiders as the hand that quietly, oh so quietly, guides the nation's foreign policy, intelligence apparatus, and premier banking houses. As the hand. Didn't say the group, it says the hand. And of course, there's symbolism to whose bones these are and what does that skull mean. The skull, in the Templars, they would put 3 skulls on the table. In the Skull and Bones, they put skulls on the table. Yes, go ahead, brother.
The story of the Skull and Bones right here. A great lady of Marcella was loved by a Templar, a lord of Sidon, but she died in her youth, and on the night of her burial, this wicked lover crept to the grave, dug up her body, and violated it. Then a voice from the void bade him to return 9 months in time, for he was finding a son. He obeyed in the injunction, and at the appointed time opened the grave again and found a head on the leg bones of the skeleton, skull and crossbones. The same voice bade him, guard it well, for it would be the giver of all good things. And so he carried it away with him. It became his protected genius, and he was able to defeat his enemies by merely showing them the magic head in due course. It passed into the possession of the order.
A blue ZX is blocking someone in.
A blue ZX is blocking someone in. All right, now I'm going to pass this bucket around. This is a bucket for a donation for the Good Life. And you know they've been closed selling food for a couple of hours, so they're sitting with us. I'm going to pass this around quietly. I want you to put something in it. This is for the Good Life, because their people have to stay over. They have to stay over past the time they get off work to stick in here with us. Now I want to make sure we cover them. I would much prefer to even make another passing of the hat for myself. But I want to make sure we cover them, for they deserve to be taken care of. And I'm going to pass this around. You all make sure this gets to everybody. And make sure you put some in there for the Boule. But I ought to tell you a story, though. I'm going to tell you a story, though. I was here talking about the Boule one night. And there was a guy in the audience from one of the fraternities. And the guy says, you know, in our history book, the Boule is mentioned on a certain page. So at the end of the night, everybody's gone. There's 3, 4 of us in here. Someone's mopping the floor. And I'm on the stage bending down, putting my stuff in a neat little pile. And someone, while that mop is flinging, says, you know, that guy was right. That sure is on that one page in our book. All right. So make sure we cover the Good Life there. And isn't it nice to be in the good life? This is good life. But one thing I want to tell you, I'll get to you. One thing I want to tell you is that their use of analogies is not about good. This is about the evil prostitution. We're talking about the evil of evils. We ought to be, as a goal, as a group, trying to penetrate or find the chief of evil.
That's right.
And this chief of evil will control or have dabs on many other people who are so evil. Some who won't understand evil but do evil in support of evil things. And so we keep up the fact that they took the good things and made a bad thing with it. Now, questions. Brother right in there. Now, it's 3 of y'all, so y'all got to decide who's going to do it. The elder first.
Okay, I was just wondering about the Hoovers, the blacks around Hoover, like Noisette and the guy that we had to find on Marcus Garvey. Were they in the Boule? Could you say that? I mean, were there any connection between them and Boule?
You said what guy around Hoover?
One is named Noisette, Hoover's valet, I think, and then the guy that I can't recall his name, but I know that he was sent by Hoover to infiltrate the FBI. And can you say anything about? I mean, I'm just wondering about musicians. Musicians. It seems, like jazz musicians. It seems like that they're in and out of the White House all the time. What do you say about them? I mean, like Sammy Davis and Nixon.
Let me just stop you there. Let me just stop you there at that part. I really don't know about the jazz and why they're at the White House. I really don't. I have nothing I could add to that. I don't know the name that you mentioned, but because you mentioned the name, I'm going to look the name up. I'll give you a number where you can contact me and give me a little bit to get back east. I'm going to look the name up in the founding chapters and see, because the reason we keep a book from 53 or 69 and 83 is that the various books feature certain things during their era, and the guy name who he mentioned might be more highlighted in the 55 book than in the 84 book. So I'm going to look that name down for you and see if I can find something to it. Yes, brother, with the hat.
Yeah, was Benjamin Manicure, remember the Boule? He was the same guy who laid out the plan.
No, he was not. He was higher and more direct and together than that. Brother Warren and then the brother over here.
Yeah, I might mention, you might want to get a book by E.G. Bell, who's like leading historian in mathematics.
Hold on, where's that Good Life bucket at? Okay.
It's called the Magic of Numbers, and he's talking about the Pythagoreans, which we know got their information from Kemet. The secret numbers they were worshiping, which eventually became...
Everybody take care of Good Life? We all straight? Never got a... Boy, that book might need another bucket. The bucket's so damn full. Look at Jay, drop the peanuts laughing.
Theoretical physics is where you got the...
Somebody, would you just walk it over there so that they can get it? We make sure this is done. I don't want it to distract something we're talking about while we're talking. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah,
Brother Warren.
The Magic of Numbers.
The Magic of Numbers by...
E.G. Bell of Caltech.
Okay.
And he talks about how the secret numbers that the Pythagoreans were studying. As you know, Pythagoras, so-called Pythagoras theorem is the basis of all measurements and so forth. Their numbers are the basis of where you get the H-bomb and the hydrogen bomb. And the other thing is Brother Quasi mentioned Pangades, who supposedly, again, the first person who studied sine waves. Anybody who knows anything about physics or mechanical engineering or optics knows that the sine wave is the basis of all those sciences. And of course, we know where supposedly Thales got his knowledge from. So there's a lot of stuff in Kemet being used today against us. And therefore, we have to learn it if we ever going to defend ourselves. When they send that...
Excuse me a second. Brother, I'm going to have to take your film. And the reason I'm going to have to take it is that the rule is there's no shooting of the audience. And as you can see, these brothers don't shoot the audience because unless someone says it's all right with them, I don't really like that. And so I'm going to take it and fix it up for you and give it back to you. Make sure that you get the right copy of everything. But I have to protect them. Not that anything could happen to them, but as you can see, they don't do it. And they know I've argued with them. These are my friends. And we've argued, and that's just a policy that we don't like to do that. There's some fresh juices coming in back there for those who are thirsty and didn't quite get to it. Yes, brother. Yes, the brother said it's turn. Okay. Let me pass this across. Damn, this thing is heavy. Shit. Woo.
We went this way.
Okay, pass it back up in there. I don't think it made it back there, and then it did.
Yeah, it's been around.
Okay, then let's somebody from the Good Life come and pick the bucket up. A brother asked about Carter G. Woodson and W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois was the founding member of the New York chapter in 1911. The concept of the talented tenth developed at a speech that he gave on behalf of the Boule, which was that the Boule represented the elite of the black elite, the college-trained man. There was no other black man of influence than this emerging college-educated black man. And so this college-educated black man was put in or used by a lot of other people. W.B. Du Bois took it upon himself. And in the lecture on Black-Jewish relations, Africa 93, we talked about W.B. Du Bois' role in attacking Marcus Garvey. Well, it was deeper than we ever thought. We found out that the Harlem Renaissance, in fact,